Hello. Now I'll represent you a solution that will help to strengthen sales office for developers company using three key features. Our first one is wow effect using augmented reality technology. Second one is decreasing the time that manager spent on one client. And the third one, artificial intelligence, that will help us to understand what your customers really want, what he really able to buy. I will explain you main components of our solution. First of all, let's imagine your usual process when your customer comes to your company, to your sales office, and what next will happen. Usually your managers represent some kind of objects like flats or buildings or some other stuff using probably PowerPoints, probably some photos, video files and text, and speaking for about 45 minutes, spending their time and time of client. Not so probably it's some kind of effective way, but I can't say that it's something impressive, something that your client will remember and tell about that all his friends and family. Now I will show you a really cool and impressive solution. Well, first of all, when your client comes to you, he will see a big screen with some kind of table, probably another one, with a table, with a touch screen here, and so this is your client, and this is your manager here. Well, first of all, your manager have to ask some questions. Well, 3 or 4, maybe 5 questions that will help us to direct customer request, to filter some kind of objects. Well, manager will fill the answer on this tablet PC installed right near table, right on the table. So, for example, at how many rooms? Maybe big kitchen, and some other stuff. Well, this is the base for our recommendation system to show some kind of variants for your customer. So now we will see, for example, 6 more affordable objects, flats, with some characteristics. Well, next one, manager will choose one, just tapping on it, and your client will see some kind of magic on the screen. He will see the same table here, he will see himself and manager also here, with his tag. And on a table he will see the presentation in augmented reality. Here we will show him this building, for example, some kind of building, trees, river, and real flat, and some other. This is augmented reality technology, usually used in marketing. I think effective use in marketing. It will work with a camera installed here. So we use camera to show customer with manager here, and we use 3D video here to show him exact object, exact flat. Well, this flat will be represented in special way. Actually, we have a special scenario editor that will allows us to present each object using some milestones. Well, first of all, we have to start presentation from place where the exact flat will be situated, from a quarter, for example. So here we will tell him about a quarter. Okay. Next, we will tell him about the building at all. Building. And third one about flat itself. The fourth is about, for example, kitchen. Here about probably garden, and some other details about this object. Actually, on each point we can have some variants. What we will tell about this object. Well, for example, if we are comparing some two flats in the same building, we have the same position, we have the same quarter, we have the same building, but we have, for example, difference in size of kitchen, and we have difference in view from the window. One window, for example, goes to sites in river and park, and other one to the inner garden. So it's different. And when we representing these two variants, first one we will tell about exact position, quarter, building, and flat and kitchen. It's a detailization of exact object. And when we will represent second one, we are not going to spend time for presenting again quarter and building. We will point only difference between these two flats. So this is also availability for us to make presentation shorter and more intellectual. So after we finished one presentation, we gather lots of information from our customer. First of all, our customer during the presentation were able to zoom, to change angle of view, and to rotate the presentation plan. Doing this, he tells us what's really interesting for him. What's really interesting, for example, when we showed him the kitchen, he started to zoom it. That's the point. We know that kitchen is really important for him. When we showed him, for example, sightseeing view from his flat, he also started to zoom, started to rotate, started to change angle. It means that he really interested in such sightseeing view, in for example, river nearby, from garden, children playing here. So that's the point that our system will use to recommend next object. Also, we can use narrow interface. When our customers started to play with our presentation, he had to put on headphones, and we also have a narrow interface integrated to headphones. That's why we can gather information about emotional state of our client. And when we showed him something that he really liked, we will see it. And when we show him something that he dislikes, absolutely, we also will understand it, and we will use this information in our recommended system. Our expert system is an artificial intelligence system that uses organic information from narrow interface, and of course from actions that our customer doing when he use the presentation that we show him. So Actually, we have few components here that I didn't mention. It's our server that generates augmented reality view. It's our database that store all the information about different objects, different floods, and of course about our customer. And all this information can be used with your sales manager via CMS or via our CMS and via your CRM system. So all the information can be integrated in the CRM system, and this information gathered from our clients during the presentation will be used to make sale. Well, one of the main key feature of our solution is the recommendation system, because this intellectual component of the solution allows us to actually change our sales manager, experienced sales manager, on just a nice guy who will be experienced user of this solution, and he is not he even not be able to make sale itself, but he just should start this presentation and react on actions that our system actually does. Well, this way we can shorten our presentation from 45 minutes that he usually use on presentation some kind of objects to only 7 minutes. And also he itself will be just a nice guy that will help our client to use our solution. I will show which way. Well, when we finish first presentation, we gathered some information, and our expert system will show you different variants, for example 6 variants, and all these variants will be nearly the same that we just present, but they will be with some difference. For example, one more room plus 1 floor plus 2 or plus 3 bigger kitchen, nice view, and some other stuff. And our managers just have to choose right variant that will be more eligible for our client, and that's all he have to do exactly. Well, the price on our solution formed with 3 key components. Well, first of all is the size of the screen. Because we are using seamless panel, we can change the size with a different range, with a really wide range. So it can be a smaller one, or if you have a really big sales office, we can make it as big as the whole wall. Second one is the number of objects. You see that each object we have to analyze, we have to visualize, and we have to create a scenario for this object. So this is really important part, because it's different if you have one object or if you have 100 or 1,000 objects. Well, and the third one is annual service fee. Usually it costs about 10% of the whole price of this solution.